Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back to the channel. It's Cynicalex, and I was supposed to do a video on Gladiator or maybe Darkhawk for the APK while you guys are waiting for the maintenance to end for Marvel Future Fight, but I honestly don't feel like it. The game is not in a good place, and it is going downhill fast. It is just full of monetization after monetization after monetization, and on the flip side, you just have, really no communication on the part of the devs to want to fix things, and you just have a bunch of empty promises. We had that survey like 6 months ago or longer for game modes, and they've made zero effort to change anything. And so, all they've done, they've made a concerted effort to get more money from us, but that's about it. So instead of doing that, I want to do a couple of different things. I want to give you guys an update on #SaveMFF and what you can do if you want to get the devs' attention and try to have this game be a bit more fair, be a bit more fun, be a bit more challenging, and be a bit less greedy. I think we can all agree that those things would be beneficial for the game. I'm not saying you have to agree with everything I'm saying, and I'm not even saying that you have to share all of the same opinions or all of the same desires that I want for the game. But if you think the game is too greedy, if you think the game is lacking content, or if you think the game ignores a lot of character reworks, if you think that the character rework poll recently was completely rigged because lo and behold Odin won, and the very next update he's one of the featured characters for the Awakening, how convenient. If you think that smells fishy, then maybe #SaveMFF or something else along these lines will be for you. So as far as #SaveMFF, it's going pretty well. These sorts of social media things, it's hard to really gauge the value of it, but if we go over to Twitter and I just hit refresh, I already have a bunch of new notifications of people that are posting it, and I'm just going through and liking them. But as you can see here, this is not an isolated thing. This is not like one or two players who just like all of my comments coming back and sort of circle jerking. These are lots of different players coming in and voicing their opinions. They're not all blatantly agreeing with me, but they all share most of or some of the sentiments. I even had the MFF Brazil Twitter page, which has almost 2,000 followers, also saying the same thing, that we want to get along board with the SaveMFF thing because they're tired of the greed by Netmarble. So it's going pretty well. And then if you go over to the Facebook page for Marvel Future Fight and you go over to the comments, there's 4,000 likes, sure. Maybe people are happy with the update. Maybe they're just happy that there is an update. But you got 500 comments. Let's go scroll through some of these comments. I've been playing MFF for 4 years. If I'm honest, it doesn't feel like Netmarble Monster MFF team has been listening to the community. Okay, interesting. Cosmic Ghost Rider needs a buff. Am I the only one that's disappointed in Cosmic Ghost Rider skill animations? I don't want Tier 3 Star-Lord. And keep in mind, I don't spend any time on Facebook. I have a Facebook page for Cynicalex, but I barely updated it. I think the last time I posted something there was almost a year ago. And it seems like the Facebook page is sharing a lot of the same sentiments as the Twitter and other, social media places like Discord. But there is one place where there is surprisingly little, if any, negative discourse, and that is the Reddit. Now, before we get into the criticism of the Reddit, which is very scathing, I want to give you guys another tip here. If you want to, speak out to Marvel Future Fight and you really want them to know that you are not happy with this update, there's lots of things you can do. Yeah, you can tweet out or post on Reddit or Facebook, #SaveMFF or whatever your slogan may be. Sure, you can stop spending money in the game. You can encourage your friends and alliance members to stop spending money. You can also go to the App Store or the Play Store, and you can resubmit if you've already submitted. You can resubmit a review of the game, the newest update, and the past few updates, in fact, have been very empty as far as game mode reworks. I can't spell. Reworks and character reworks are concerned, but very greedy. You can resubmit your review. You can give them a 1-star review, or if you've never submitted a review for the game, you can review the game and you can let them know how you feel about the game. So that's that. Those are the things that you can do in the meantime to let Marvel Future Fight and to let Netmarble Monster know that you are dissatisfied with the game. So now, why am I taking special aim at the Reddit? Why do I think that Reddit is the enemy here? Well, because despite Reddit's dying popularity for Marvel Future Fight, a lot of people still go on the Reddit just because Reddit itself is a hub for information for pretty much anything. So when people think of the first places to go for new ideas and new information, they think of, YouTube, they think of Reddit, and they think of some other places like Wikipedia and stuff like that, or sort of like a wiki fandom. And unfortunately, as you can see, there's extremely sparse. There's almost no discords. If we sort by new, what do we see here? When ranking Gene Grey to 5 stars, the unlock skill is incorrectly displayed. Okay, so there's a bug, sure. Okay, but where's all the complaints about the update? Where are all the people that are dissatisfied? Okay, so I guess you can find them all in the basic gloating and venting thread. So what you can see that they've done here is they've tried to manipulate the wording. So if you're angry with the update, you're just venting, right? So they attach this sort of emotional language to what you're doing to try and downplay it. On top of the fact that no one in their right mind is seriously going to go into an aggregated thread of complaints and just complain. That's like a bunch of people going into a room to shout at each other. That's why there's only 21 comments. Okay, so where else can you see if anyone is unhappy with the update? I mean, if you look on Reddit, you might think that everyone's really happy with the update, right? You might get that false impression that everyone loves this update and thinks it's really good. Unfortunately, you can also see, if you look a little bit closer, that there's not even 500 people on the Reddit, even though there are 50,000 users of the Reddit. Interesting. So there's not that many people here, and they're not really voicing their opinions. Why? Well, that's because the Reddit mods, the Reddit admins, actively delete anything you say that is not positive for the game unless you follow extremely strict rules. And the extremely strict rules include saying whatever you want to say in this random thread that no one is ever going to see. So basically, they want you to bury your own message before it ever gets received, or you can post it in the one thread that details the game. And sure, you can click on this with 420 comments, blaze it, and you can scroll through and see a lot of sad veterans voicing their concerns, but that's just one thread, right? So think about it this way. If you were the Korean community manager and your English is okay, but it's not perfect, and you scroll through here, would you think that anything's wrong with the game? No. You would scroll through the Reddit and you would probably get an idea of, wow, you know what? The game's doing pretty well. Reddit seems pretty calm. So they build this false homeostasis and they build this false impression that the game is doing so well. Now let's take a look at some other Reddits for other Marvel games and let's see what they're like. So if you go over to the Marvel Contest of Champions Reddit, they're actually also right now going through some tough times with the game, and they're actually sort of trying to organize some sort of boycott or some sort of, frustration with the game. As you can see, they're posting memes like this, and these memes get posted in Contest of Champions. They don't get instantly deleted, right? Because sometimes we need humor and sometimes we need to relax, but also sometimes we need to relate to things not being good, and it's okay that things are not good, and it's okay that we talk about them. So we look over here, and although they have, fewer users total, they actually have almost double the active users. So Contest of Champions doesn't have an update planned just yet. They have some early access bundles and stuff like that, but there isn't an update landing tonight like there is for Marvel Future Fight. So there's less hype, but they somehow have double the users active on their subreddit. I wonder why that is. Could be a multitude of reasons, could just be coincidence. So let's take a look at a third one, Marvel Strike Force, because Contest of Champions has been around for 5 years, and Marvel Future Fight has been around for 5 years, although this Reddit has not been around for 5 years. I think it's been around for 2 or 3 years. So maybe these other Reddits are just much smaller, and that's why they're more active. Oh, the Strike Force Reddit has 60,000 users, and they have 1,400 users active right now. Wow, look at this, guys. So they have more users, more active users, more total users, and look at this, they're actually engaging in conversation. They're actually criticizing the game in a fair way, and they're voicing their opinions, and they're actually creating some sort of dialogue and some sort of interesting conversation between users, rather than squeaking everything clean, bleaching the asshole, and preparing it for the entrance by Netmarble, which will of course be flawless and, subservient as always. It's really disappointing. Now let's look at a game that's not even Marvel, 7 Deadly Sins Grand Cross. They only have 40,000 users, which is 10,000 less than either Contest of Champions or MFF, but they also have over 1,200 active users. And look what happens if we go to top and we organize by the last, let's say, month. There was recently a drama, and there's recently a debacle, a fiasco in this game, 7 Deadly Sins Grand Cross, where the global devs for the game, because there's Japanese devs for the games and there's global devs for the games, or at least the Japanese server, they may be Korean devs. but it's also made by Netmarble, by the way. So you see here a community-sponsored call to arm, almost 2,000 upvotes. Do you know what this is? This is players in the community critiquing and professionally discussing what's wrong with the game. You know, trying to get people to actively support the game and improve the game. And you can see how much discourse this creates, how much positive community interaction there is, over 360 comments, right? And there's tons of these. Interesting. So guess what? They got more done in 1 day or 2 days of upsetting and you know, shaking the status quo and trying to get Netmarble to listen than Marvel Future Fight has for almost any problem we've had, besides maybe the Ultimates. But for the Ultimates, it still took them like a month to fix the problems. So am I blaming the Marvel Future Fight Reddit and the way that it's mishandled by the admins? Am I blaming the update on them? No. But if you think that they are contributing to the game's status quo, you wouldn't be wrong. If you get the idea that they're trying to shield the game from negative criticism in order to maintain some sort of kickback that they have or some sort of relationship that they may have developed with the devs, who knows? Maybe they do. Maybe we have evidence of them giving out crystal coupons to people who post on their forum and post things that they like and that they'll upvote. I don't know if that's nepotism or if that's something else, but you can come to those conclusions by yourself. Imagine if I only gave 300 crystal coupons to people who, you know, retweeted and shared my videos everywhere. Imagine how that would look. But it's actually happening on Reddit. Interesting. Last but not least, for those of you that might think, again, I'm not trying to attack anyone here, but I just want to put all the cards on the table and be honest. For those of you that think that the Reddit is actually a good place and that they're actually creating some sort of, you know, healthy back and forth and they're actually, you know, creating change in Marvel Future Fight, I would encourage you to rethink that position. Like I said, when you go and look on the Reddit, you can see that there is basically nothing, right? There's a bunch of fluff. They're not really criticizing the game. They're not really saying anything. And so, case in point, the devs don't come there. The devs don't read anything. The devs don't take anything they say seriously. A few days ago, we made that video about Nova Richard Rider, and I detailed how he was bugged and how his third skill, penetration, isn't working properly. Guess who sent me an email a few hours ago saying that the devs have seen the video and are going to fix it? That's right. So there you have it. Another piece of proof here that the Reddit is literally doing nothing for the game besides giving a false illusion that the game is fine and that nothing is wrong. So I really obviously have a bone to pick with Reddit because of the way that they handle criticism and the way that they can't, you know, create a community where you can actually voice your opinion and have a conversation with someone even if you disagree with them, which is supposed to be the essence of Reddit, but I guess nowadays it's Wild West and you can do whatever you want. But of course, as always, there are other communities, and I'm so thankful for the fact that our Discord is at almost 10,000 members with over 1,000 active users. Yeah, it sounds like a plug. It's also an indication that there are way more people that want to talk about MFF on Discord than there are now, and there probably will ever be on Reddit, due to the fact that you basically can't have a conversation unless you're kissing someone's ass. So let me know what you guys think about all this. Thankfully, Richard Rider will be fixed because, you know, we got a video out there and we promoted it, and, you know, there's enough comments and there's enough traction and attention on that. That is what Marvel Future Fight needs. It needs people to voice their opinions in many different platforms, Facebook, etc. That's how we're going to get the game fixed. We're not going to get the game fixed by shutting our mouths, putting our head down, and just playing the game or quitting, right? When has quitting or ignoring the problem ever had a positive impact on the problem? Pretty much never, except by some fluke chance of luck. But for a 5-year-old game in its 6th year, luck is not on our side anymore. So anyways, let me know what you guys think of all of this. Thanks so much for watching, and I will see you in the next one. Take care.